teas. Use this if you want to smell like that tea.
You never had to question if you were a man, so why give your money to a corporation that doesn't know if their products are made for men? Try Jeremy Razor's hair and body products. Jeremy shampoo and conditioner are made with tea tree oil to naturally clean and restore your hair and scalp, argan oil to soften your hair and not your masculinity, and aloe vera to moisturize the hair and scalp. It's all paraben-free, sulfate-free, phthalate-free, and most importantly, 100% woke-free. Not to mention, it smells amazing. Go to jeremyrazors.com and use my special code BURNS15 to save 15% off. That's jeremyrazors.com. Use my special code BURNS15 to save 15% off. Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Business Talks. I am your host, Chawanne Burns. In today's video, we are going to stay on Chicago, okay? Mayor Brandon Johnson, he is trying to rush to get I guess you want to call it unhoused. That's the politically correct term. Unhoused immigrants, which they are illegal immigrants, to a housing location because they're receiving about 20 busloads a day. And also you have immigrants on the street living in tents. So they're trying to rush to get these people housed, and they're running into some backlash. So we're going to talk about that. Then we're going to go into Riverdale, suburbs of Illinois. You have one mayor who was indicted. He was indicted about a couple of weeks ago on some fraudulent charges, and it's a couple of charges what he was indicted for. We're going to talk about that, and then we're going to get to our super mayor. Our super mayor, I found some more information about her in the video that I posted last night with one of the trustees. I guess she's a former trustee. Her house ended up getting shot up. So I have another couple of videos that was sent to me about this particular trustee, and we're going to talk about that on another episode of Business Talks.
Something like this. Looks a little bit like I can't miss. Hey, this is what you call a bad. What? This is what you call a bad. Something like this. Looks a little bit like I can't miss. Hey, this is what you call a bad. What? This is what you call a bad.
As always, if you enjoyed that intro music, you need to go to scoresomemusic.com. Once again, that website is scoresomemusic.com. Matt Torrance, he composed my music specifically for me, and he could do the same thing for you. Scoresomemusic.com, www.scoresomemusic.com. Okay, so we're going to talk about Chicago. Mayor Brandon Johnson, he hasn't been doing too well managing the city. He just got in there. He's been under the fire because of not any. I guess he didn't cause it. He didn't cause the influx of migration. He inherited the problem, but the only problem with Johnson, he hasn't made no definite step of how to alleviate the problem of migrants being housed. I mean, they have a budget, but I don't know any permanent shelter has been put in place since he's been in office. They've been getting a continuous flow of migrants or immigrants into the city of Chicago. And once they bounced the idea of putting tents up and other shelters in place, trying to take those over, trying to take community service centers over. And now they got a lot that they're renting for $90,000 a month in Chicago, but nothing ever came into fruition. And I think Brandon Johnson, he really needs to actually get like a project manager or somebody. Hey, we're going to hire a project manager to get these things done because he's not getting them done. So this story that I'm sharing with you It's saying Chicago scrambles to house migrants as winter approaches. Winter is already here, though. You have about, they said about 2,000 or 2,500 people living in tents on the outside. And they're saying that they're scrambling to find shelter for these people. It says Chicago brutal winters loom city and the state officials are scrambling to find shelter for more than 2,000 migrants now living in the airport, police station, and city streets, plus long-term housing for thousands more already crammed into overcrowded shelters. And one thing about this, they're not really mentioning how it's burdening the city. They don't have any extra funds, so they're taking funds from other resources or other programs to fund this because the federal government has not stepped in, and that's your illustrious president, President Joe Biden. But he could fund Ukraine, he could fund the Israel people, he could fund the Palestinians for humanitarian aid, but he cannot fund his own people. What's his name? New York Mayor Eric Adams. He's been vocal about that, how they have not received any help. Okay, so we could say that it's going to look pretty sad for Chicago. And it's saying the governor announced that the state will invest an additional $160 million to address the bottlenecks in asylum seekers resettlement pipeline. You see how they come up with these new terms to make it sound better. No, you're trying to throw money at all these people coming in across the border, open border. And you're calling them asylum seeker resettlement pipeline. No, just call it for what it is. Illegal immigrants. Stop trying to sugarcoat it and make it sound good and trying to make people that's Americans feel better about it. No, they're illegal immigrants and they shouldn't be here. The federal government should be closing the border down, but instead they're sitting on their hands and saying, "Oh, we can't." The Congress is not passing anything. But Title 42 was an executive order that expired under Trump administration. Well, it expired under Biden administration, but Trump put it in place. He could have easily extended that Title 42 or created something else. If you didn't like Trump, you could have created something else to secure our borders. Okay. But they're throwing money at this and they're trying to make it sound like it's so nice and fluffy. And it's not. It's illegal immigrants coming in and taking over the city. Okay. This next story, and this is News Nation. I'm not going to play the whole clip, but I want you guys to see one part of the story.
Shelter for thousands of migrants sleeping as winter sets in. In New York City, officials are offering a free one-way ticket out of the Big Apple for migrants willing to leave. In Chicago, lawmakers are struggling to house both migrants and the existing homeless population. And with temperatures dropping fast, their deadline to move people indoors is getting closer every day. Emily Finn is in Chicago, where migrants and locals are waiting for a more permanent solution tonight. Emily.
Just to interrupt her, they're offering one-way ticket to where? Where are you offering one-way tickets to? To where? California? Because that's the only warm place there is, or Texas, somewhere down south. And when they get there, where are they supposed to go?
Well, Kelsey, that's absolutely correct. As of this week, Chicago has been able to relocate migrants from at least 5 different police stations scattered throughout the city, but there are still nearly 2,000 that remain that are still waiting for relocation to temporary shelters, just like the migrants that you can see on the sidewalk in tents outside of this police station behind me. As you mentioned, Kelsey, The temperatures here in the Windy City are dropping as the notoriously cold Chicago winter fast approaches.
These families, who, by the way, they're not illegal.
Yes, they are, Brandon Johnson. They're illegal. Sorry, you guys. I get so upset when he starts rambling about how they're not illegal. They are. They are illegal immigrants. If you're not rightfully seeking asylum, you're illegal. And we heard on the report, 90% of the people, 9 out of 10 people that cross the border illegal are not quote unquote asylum seekers. They just came over here saying, oh, there's better things over in America. They get free health care, free education, free food stamps, free housing. Let's go over there. We can't find a job in Mexico or Venezuela or wherever they're coming from. Let's go to America. And we proving them right because we giving them a lot of free shit.
They're asylum seekers.
The city of Chicago is ramping up efforts to relocate asylum seekers living on sidewalks outside of police stations and at O'Hare Airport, with frigid winter weather conditions fast approaching. Chicago's Office of Emergency Management and Communications confirming at least 5 police stations have been officially cleared out this week, noting the push to quickly move migrants to temporary shelters comes, quote, in anticipation of the winter weather. More than 1,700 migrants are still awaiting placement at shelters, but it's just the first step to a more permanent solution. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is pledging to move forward with a plan to build winterized base camps, which can house up to 2,000 asylum seekers, yet multiple locations are still under consideration. The plan has already...
This is what I'm talking about. You knew in May, I think he took office in May, right? Was it May or was it last year sometime? But anyway, whenever he got in office, you knew the problem was existing. Why in November you still haven't got a plan? You haven't purchased no land or leased the land. I'm assuming they have leased the land, but you're talking about you're just holding your feet. And where is this money going? Where's this money coming from, and where's this money going? He asked Biden for $5 billion. I guess they're not going to get the $5 billion. So where is the money coming from? And why haven't you initiated something? I might talk like I don't like immigration or I'm against immigration. I'm not against immigration. I think most 90% or 95% of Americans came from immigrants. Like literally, if you're not indigenous to the land, you migrated here from some place or another. So I'm not against immigrants, but I am against illegal immigrants. People that shouldn't be over here. Anti-Americans. That's what I'm against. But Brandon Johnson needs to get it together because he's dragging his feet. Chicago gets brutal cold. I'm in Michigan. It got 20 degrees here last night. In Michigan, in Chicago, that 20 degrees is like 0 degrees because of the wind.
Already drummed up concern among Chicago residents, even sparking protests in neighborhoods where city officials are planning to build the winterized camps.
We hear the frustrations, we hear the concerns, and getting to the other side of this is going to take all of us.
Chicago resident Travis Wilson says he has seen the conditions the migrants are living in firsthand. He says the lack of help from the city has inspired the church across the street from this police station to step up, providing donations to help migrants stay warm while they await replacement.
Lakeview Lutheran Church has been trying to help with assisting and allocating spare insulation, whether it be blanketing or tarping or any spare tents.
Since August of 2022, more than 25,000 migrants have been bused or flown to the Windy City from states like Texas, posing a challenge for Chicago officials to provide adequate housing options. And the overwhelming surge in migrants is not just a problem unique to Chicago. In New York City, Mayor Eric Adams has been pleading with the Biden administration for assistance for months. The city is now housing more than 65,000 migrants, something he says is a drain on the Big Apple's resources.
Well, and we know it's a drain on the Big Apple resources. They're planning to cut $100 million. I'm not going to play this part, but they're planning to cut $100 million of their city funds allocated to different departments to focus on immigration. Is that fair? No, it's not. You're getting the short end of the stick, especially if you are American in need. Like if you really depend on the city to do things for you already, and then they're saying, and they do the bare minimum anyway, and they say, oh no, we got Gonzalez coming over from Venezuela and his family. We got to allocate those dollars to them. And it's putting a strain on our city. Oh, the police, they don't need any training. After you got, look, the people that's been in effect is really been affected by this immigration is the community that primarily vote this administration in. I hate to say it, but if you look around, these are the people that voted this administration in, and they're the main ones are being affected by this. So you're putting an immigrant over what they call the Black and brown community, the people that really need the things. So they barely allocate resources to your community, and now they're snatching it away because you have an open border policy in the city that you live in, saying we are a safe haven for asylum seekers. And by the way, they're not really asylum seekers. They just thought, hey, they got to sign a advertisement in Venezuela saying, hey, come to America. Come to America so you can vote Biden in the next administration. And I'm talking about sucking resources. I want to share this other story with you. Let me see who I got online with me. Let me see who I got online. You guys remember, like, subscribe, and get those likes up. It helps me with the YouTube algorithm. Gonzalez. I'm not talking about you, Gonzalez. Ruben Gonzalez is in the building. I use the example Gonzalez is Venezuelan, but I know it's not you. Ruben is in the building. Mr. E, thank you for tuning in. Gotta say, this Dalton situation is the most entertaining thing on YouTube and on the tube. Yes, it is the most entertaining. Except she's dangerous as hell. Bet 9 out of 10 here are her people, hoping to find out info on it. Yes, I've been receiving a lot of hate comments under undisclosed YouTube names, user 5678910 exclamation point at underscore ... I've been receiving a lot of hate comments from that. But I'm just here. I'm trying to be unbiased as I can, but it's entertaining. It is entertaining. And if there's videos about it or some information about it, I'm going to report it. Okay. Dwayne Manziel, illegal is illegal. Dwayne, illegal is illegal. It don't make a damn where you come from. Bonita, what's up? Millions of dollars for illegal immigrants, but nothing for Americans. That's what I was just saying. Nothing for Americans. Martin Phillips, we can take care of our vet or homeless, but you want to get away from taxpayers' money. Yeah, you want to give our taxpayer monies to these illegal immigrants. Like I said, I'm not against illegal immigrants. I am for going through the proper channels if you want to migrate to America. I'm all for it. But now we've seen all these protests that's been sparking up. A lot of these immigrants that probably came over here years ago, probably illegally living in this country illegally, are really anti-American. You got to wonder, why do we have so many people that's anti-American, but you want to use all American resources for what? This next story, speaking of resources, okay, so we just got done or came out of Thanksgiving, and hopefully your Thanksgiving went well. It was an enjoyment with your family and your friends. We have a lot to be thankful for. This story right here that I'm sharing with you, it's been a problem um, with low income communities trying to scramble up enough money to even celebrate any type of Thanksgiving, any type of Christmas, anything. There's a problem. If you have a chance and if you have extra, of course, do your part. You want to donate to the needy. Okay. On this story, it says low income New Yorkers lose out on Thanksgiving turkeys as migrants gobble them up. They don't even know what Thanksgiving is. But they, you know, saw some free food and they were like, oh, let me take advantage of it. And it's saying about 125,000 illegal aliens have arrived in New York City in a little more than a year. Just a couple weeks ago, a team of researchers from FAIR traveled to the Big Apple, where we witnessed illegal aliens at the Roosevelt Hotel receive free food in what used to be a restaurant open to the public. Now the migrant crisis has impacting the Thanksgiving holiday of the Queens neighborhood. New York City Housing Authority, Queensbridge houses residents look forward to a weekly mobile food pantries, but over 8,000 migrants have moved in over the past year, straining the resources meant for New Yorkers. And
newly arrived migrants in New York City beat low-income New Yorkers to free Thanksgiving turkeys, and residents are not happy.
The residents living in NYCHA's Queensbridge houses look forward to the mobile food pantries that show up weekly. But over the past year, they have witnessed 8,000 migrants move into their neighborhood, and they have also noticed the migrants are also starting to take their stuff.
They was first online for the turkeys this morning. If they tell you to be there at 11 o'clock, you get there like 10:30, 10:45, but they already out there. The line is from over there to over here.
Free food giveaways, especially during the holidays, have become a source of tension between longtime New Yorkers struggling to get by and newly arrived migrants who are using the system to survive. A month ago, one altercation got so heated between a resident and a migrant, someone ended up in the hospital.
We would never turn anyone away for a meal, but there simply just is not enough for both NYCHA residents and the migrant shelter residents.
In other news, FAIR has just been sent new video from USCIS in New York City, where newly arrived migrants are stretched for many city blocks waiting to get in, where they will apply for various immigration services, or they will get a court date for maybe sometime 5 to 6 years in the future as Joe Biden's border crisis continues to rage on.
And you know, it's sad that you know, I'm pretty sure they're struggling too, especially if they can't find a job. Maybe not. Some of them are probably just doing whatever they can to survive, and just like Americans are doing whatever they can to survive. So it's unfair for our government to put the strain on the people. Our taxpayer, you as a taxpayer, and our tax-paying dollars is putting the strain on you, you know, and then you have both of these lower income people like, what the hell, you got the food first and then you don't even belong here and all that stuff. So they're putting them against each other. And it's, to me, it's horrific. Okay. That's it about that. It's nothing more I could say about that. They just need to close the border. That's basically what they need to do, is close the border. Now we're going to get into Our other story, Tiffany Henyard. Tiffany Henyard, she's been making waves. This is an older story before I share you with the former elected trustee board member. Okay. This is, I guess Tiffany Henyard, she had some, let me make sure. She had a rental house. This is how she is. She had a rental house, and she decided not to, I guess, since she knows people in the township, they kept on passing her and failing her. Passing it for whatever that I'm speaking about the house, the inspections, passing her and then failing her. And so when she, at the time that she passes, that's when it was a renewal for either the lease or for government to pay for like Section 8 housing. And instead of Tiffany fixing it, whatever the problem, mold problem, she kept on prolonging it and having her henchmen passing the inspection. And this lady hasn't lived, or that was renting in this particular house, couldn't even live there for 2 years, and she still was collecting rent. It was pretty sad. Let me just share this tab with you.
3 months ago, we first exposed serious problems in a South suburban rental home owned by a Dalton Village trustee.
Since then, the renter says it's only gotten worse. CBS 2 political investigator Dana Kozloff has also learned that trustee is pocketing tens of thousands of your tax dollars for a house that's now unlivable.
You need to get your clothes out for school.
Jacqueline Smith and her 2 children called this hotel room home for almost a month. Ever since the Dalton house they were renting from village trustee Tiffany Henyard was slapped with this.
A big red sign that I cannot live there because it's unlivable.
Unlivable mostly because of mold.
All mold. Even growing on the bottom of the shoes is mold.
Mold that Smith's landlord, trustee Henyard, pledged to immediately clean up after we first reported on the problem in August.
And that's where it started.
Smith says workers came and painted. The house even passed a village inspection. Issues abated, notes Inspector Brian Thigpen in this September report, except they weren't.
It's horrible.
Enter activist David Lowry, who called Dalton directly. Suddenly, the house deemed livable on September 3rd became unfit for occupancy on October 15th. Lowry's theory?
The trustee used her power and influence.
We caught up with Henyard before last week's board meeting.
I want to talk to you about that house on Dearborn. Can we do that?
My attorney's right here, so if you got any questions, I have legal counsel. Talk to my attorney.
So you want me to talk to your attorney and not you? You can't tell me how that house failed an inspection in October when it just passed it beforehand?
If you have any questions, talk to my attorney.
So we did.
The inspection process is within control of the village, not of the trustee. She has been instructed by the village attorney to be treated just like any other property owner.
Dalton's attorney.
Really? So is she being treated just like any other property owner? Come on now.
Attorney says the house's inspection history is under investigation. And village records show a slew of past problems, with the house passing, then failing, then passing inspections for years, even before the Housing Authority of Cook County approved it as a rental property eligible for government housing assistance money, or Section 8. An HACC employee says as a landlord, Henyard's received $36,866 taxpayer dollars in Section 8 rent payments since 2017, when Smith moved in. Money that kept coming even after this foreclosure notice was filed against the house last year.
We're staying in a hotel, so.
All the while, Dalton taxpayers even helped foot the bill to keep Smith's family off the streets.
He thought that, the village should be compassionate. She had nowhere to go. She had children. What we thought was to actually bill trustee Henyard.
I learned this afternoon that Jacqueline Smith and her kids are now staying with a friend. The village is no longer paying for the hotel, and she doesn't have the money. I'm still waiting on a list of any citations Trustee Henyard received because of that house. In the
and we don't know what came of that, but this is just a snippet. So this was on the news. Was the CBS 2? Oh, yeah, CBS Chicago 2. This was on the news, and yet they still elected Tiffany Henyard as the mayor. They elected her, and it's sad that, you know, she had a history in a township of doing things that was unsavory, and they still elected Tiffany Henyard as the mayor. So I wanted to share with you. Now, this is Valerie Stubbs, the individual that, let me just share this picture. This is the individual, the video that I posted last night, and the house, or actually her car was shot up, and you saw the two individuals get in the car and speed away. This is her. Now, she's been a vocal person against, or she's been real vocal against Tiffany Henyard. And this particular one, that she's calling her to step down because she's incompetent and because of the things that she's been doing. Number one, trying to stop the residents from speaking out against what's going on in the township.
So tell me a little bit about what you're thinking about.
If that shit ain't happened to them.
What's my thinking? I think that, and I don't even want to call her mayor because she actually bit off more than what she can chew. And she's violating the Open Meetings Act by not allowing the residents to participate in the board meetings. Probably our village is probably the only one that have been shut down, and now we can't even go on the chat and ask our questions, and when we did, the questions were never answered. So for her to say that we can email our questions and there will be a response to it is a bald-faced lie. You know, Tiffany sat out here in 2018, right here, along with myself and other residents, with tape on our mouth because Mayor Riley at that time was trying to shut the trustees and the residents down. And she sat out here with tape on her mouth, and you can look it up, and you'll see her standing out here, and because her voice wasn't being heard, and now she's doing the same identical thing as to not allowing the residents to speak. These are our tax dollars. My taxes is over $20,000 a year to live in the village of Dalton. And you telling me that I don't have a right to say what go on with my tax dollars? I don't have a voice? That's unheard of. And she's violating our First Amendment right. She needs to step down and let somebody else run for that office that can do the job, because obviously she can't do it, and she didn't do it as a trustee.
You know why else she needs to step
everything
down?
she's
Because
doing,
she was living in South
everything
Holland when
that
she
she's
ran
doing
on
is what she fought
173rd
against
Street
and
in
stood
South
against
Holland.
as a trustee for the village of Dalton.
She was living here
You
no
have,
way.
what's his name, Lavelle Redmond, you know, an ex-sex offender. Okay, that's fine and dandy. Take him and put him in public work somewhere if you're going to give him a second chance. Don't have him going out here knocking on doors to resident houses with a squad car with lights and a badge. You know, that's unfortunate. This is what she's doing. As a matter of fact, she have her cousin out here. I'm going to go and call his name. His name is Dion Taylor. He lives at 11844 South State Street in the city of Chicago. How come you, if you're so concerned about the residents out here and employment, she just had a job fair, why not give some of those jobs to the residents that live here, that had a stake in here, and as opposed to her family members, you know, and to sex offender. That's unheard of. Anything else you want to know?
When you hear the people in the background saying she wasn't even in the township when she ran for mayor, she wasn't a resident, and then another lady was saying that she don't respect her, and Valerie Suggs is basically saying, hey, she doesn't think that she has the experience or um, or to run or to be mayor. I don't think that takes away not having the experience to be mayor. I don't think that says you cannot do the job. I think you kind of have to be more business minded to run a city. Don't know if Tiffany has that, but the things that I pulled up on the businesses that she's ran, number one, this house, it's all ended in disaster. In particular, this one in particular, she has, and I'm pretty sure it's shut down now, but she had a contract with the school. She had a contract with the school, and in this contract, it was for her to provide meals in the cafeteria for the college students. And apparently, she did not fulfill her end of the bargain, so they terminated her contract. And to me, this is a damaging report on her, I guess, business acumen. Let me just pull it up. I thought I downloaded, but apparently I didn't. Okay. So this particular letter is dated I think it was last year. Let me just share this with you. It says, Miss Henyard, on September the 3rd, 2019, South Suburban College entered into an amended agreement with your business, Good Burger, for the provisions of cafeteria and vending operations at South Suburban College main campus. This agreement provides both the financial and service obligations of Good Burger and establishes in Section 1B that the South Suburban College may terminate the agreement following note of poor performance that is not remedied within 30 days. This letter shall serve as notice of poor performance and noncompliance with this agreement. In the event these instances of poor performance and noncompliance are not resolved by April the 22nd, the college shall terminate the agreement. And they've received numerous complaints regarding the food choices and lack of nutritional balanced meals per the agreement. Each menu must include options that provide healthy and nutritional balanced meal. Okay, the cafeteria has been closed without notification since October the 27th, 2021. Per the agreement, the cafeteria is required to be open Monday through Friday each week. The college is open. Good Burger has failed to provide daily or weekly menus in the cafe. Good Burger has failed to maintain I don't know why it won't scroll up. Failed to maintain the cafe to required standards of immaculate. Per the agreement, the cafe must meet all sanitation service standards at all times. Let me see if I could share this other side with you. But the Good Burger has failed to post, display, or provide Cook County Department Public Health Sanitation report. To me, this is funny because, you know, getting in the food industry, especially if you're at a college, you think you already know this. Like, you want to have your A rating, A+ rating. It reminds me of, you know, the donut shop that had all the flies in it in Friday After Next. He had an F rating. The guy had an F rating. The Indian guy, he had an F rating. And Craig, uncle or dad, and his uncle opened up a barbecue shop. But anyway, this is what it reminds me of. I'm visualizing this when I'm seeing reading this. Anyway, so it's saying Good Burger has failed to steam, clean, sanitize, and wipe specific equipment as required, and the cafe remains inadequately clean. Per the agreement, specific cleaning practices are required to maintain safe food preparations and environment. I mean, like I said, you think this would be like second nature for you to do since you're in this type of industry, but I guess not. It says Good Burger is required to maintain adequate safe to operate cafe. The cafe has been without adequate, I said safe, but that's staff. I need my glasses, since October 21. Good Burger has failed to obtain college approval for all Good Burger management personnel and has not engaged in written consultation with the college regarding such personnel. Good Burger is required to complete background investigations on all employees. Look, I'm going to show you a story. Let me finish this sentence before I interject. Good Burger is required to complete background investigations on all employees as consult with the college in the event of a positive criminal background investigation. Tiffany loves criminals. I'm not against criminals, but that's who she hangs around. This is something is like second nature to her. Maybe she has a lot of criminals in her family or whatever and trying to look out for them, which is nothing wrong with that. But she's not going to fulfill that agreement because probably most of the people that she has under her is probably, you know, somebody that she's trying to look out for. You know, is it something wrong with that? No, but if you're trying to get contracts with different people and they have a set standard, well, you can't have that. You can't fulfill that contract if they have that set standard and you're not fulfilling that set standard. You see what I'm saying? Even in my business, I can't hire criminals to go in people's houses to do certain work. I just can't do it because the people that purchase from me is putting trust in me, saying, hey, I have a certain standard. If they've been in jail for like that sex crime that guy, and it was a violent sex crime, yeah, and stealing. Those are the two things that we can't hire you for. Because I can't let you into somebody's house and you're a known thief. There's nothing wrong with these. I mean, as long as you're not, involved in my business. So, and this is what I'm saying. It's like, okay, these people are paid their debt to society, but if you're taking on contracts, you can't do that. if you're working with the city, you can't, if they have a set standards where they don't hire certain type of people, you got to follow that set standard. Now, you can have a good burger on your own land and hire as many criminals as you want because this is at your place of business. But on the staff and on campus or for the city, those are the standards that they want, and you can't try to change those standards. So what I was getting at, she's not going to do this because she loves a lot of criminals. In this next story, we're going to talk about the other criminal, allegedly. Okay. Good Burger has failed to pay the state rental fee, $416 per month. The college agreed to waive rental fees from March the 16th of 2020 through August 30th, 2021 and January 2022. Therefore, the outstanding balance is $2,400. Man, you know, that's I would love to have a rental fee for my business, $400 a month. I would pay that with my eyes closed. That's just lovely. But I guess because it's a smaller town, maybe that's why. Good Burger has failed to pay any vending sales commissions to a college. Okay, well, she got to pay vending sales, so that's probably why the rent is so low. It's obligated to pay 16% of the profit, but are they making any sales? You're saying that they're closed during the hours that the school is open, and then it's not as sanitary. Is kids really eating out of the cafeteria? They don't have healthy food choices. They don't have much of any choices. So I'm wondering if they made any sales, but they're probably required to show receipts about the commission. So she hasn't paid the commission. Good Burger has failed to pay any cafe commissions for the last 4 years. What? She ain't paying shit. To me, like, this is all my money. Okay, so she haven't paid anything. She haven't paid rent or she hasn't paid commission. And they're waiving her rent. So I wonder what the problem is. This is a little bit much. So, and this is why I'm saying your business acumen. You have to have, I don't care about being a politician when you're running for a political office. You got to have some type of business acumen because you got to really think about, okay, am I spending, because you have a checkbook. That's why your board and trustees are there to keep you aligned. No, we're supposed to spend. This is what is on the budget. This is what we're spending it for. These are the issues that we're having. These need to be addressed. How much you think this would cost? Okay, how much do we have for charity or helping people or whatever? Okay, so I think there's a disconnect. And like I said, her business acumen, and maybe I'm being too nice, her business acumen is lacking. Okay. And I think that's where she's running into her problems. And then she trying to be turned up too much. Okay. Good Burger has failed to deposit any funds to the cleaning and equipment deposit. Per agreement, Good Burger is required to deposit funds from both dining and vending commissions up to the total of $3,500. This is necessary and required when you have a rental property. You don't just say, hey, we're going to spend all the money. You need to have some type of cash reserve. So that's where that's coming from. She didn't do it. Where's all this money going to? She got a rental property that she hasn't probably paid a mortgage on and she's foreclosed on. So where's that money going to? Then you got all this money that you probably collecting in sales receipts, and you haven't paid your dues, rent and commission to nobody. And then you supposed to have some type of cash reserves. So for cleaning. And that's probably why the cleaning hasn't been done properly. And she hasn't provided financial statements either. Okay. Reason why she hasn't provided financial statements because she's not going to pay your commission. That's exactly why. Okay. So business acumen with Tiffany Henyard is lacking. And that's extremely important when you're running when you're running a city. I'm laughing because it's funny. Let me get to some of your comments. Pete, I'm glad I got out of New York City about 30 years ago. I'm glad you got out of it too. We have a Twitch online, Noah Sachs 26. Chawanne, what's up? What's up, Noah? Lao, do you understand immigration law? Lao, are you an immigrant? Are you offended about what I'm talking about? Lao is an immigrant. It might be an illegal immigrant, but he's offended by what I'm saying. Okay. We have Peter Byron. How do you get into politics and then not care about the taxpayer? I really don't understand that. You have to care about your constituents because those are the people that voted you in, and those are the very same people who will vote you out. Glenn Ruff, how's it going? The one and only thing the Democrats care about is votes. Don't think for a second that they care about you. No, they don't care. They don't care about nothing you talking about. Pete Byron, yeah, I think it should make her qualify. I think her being on the board or trustees for 8 years, she like I said, she has all the knowledge. I think the knowledge to do a good job to be a mayor. I think she just fails. She doesn't want to do it. I think she doesn't really care about the constituents. She doesn't care. It's all about herself. And when I say it's all about herself, let me show you this crazy encounter with, this is between one of the board members or the trustees and Tiffany. Tiffany, I don't know. Like I said, business acumen is important. And if someone never really had a bunch of money in their hands, it's like giving kids money. I try to teach my kids about money, and I think Tiffany Henyard hasn't really received the financial talk about money. Just because you have it, that doesn't mean you spend it on anything. I think she thinks she has a blank check, and she's the queen, that she could spend it frivolously on whatever. She doesn't know how to balance a checkbook. She doesn't know how to do reconciliations on her checkbook, because if she did, she never wouldn't have did this. This is, to me, is really outrageous. Let me see if this is it. Yeah. Actually, I already had it queued up. This is it, you guys. This is Tiffany Henyard wastes $150,000 of taxpayer monies to lease a Tahoe. They're going to pull up this lease agreement, and you will be baffled about the APR the city of Dalton is paying. This is mind-boggling to me. I've never heard this before. It seems to me maybe Dalton has really bad credit, or she's not smart at all. This is not a smart move.
Comes here to argue with you. Nobody at all. There are bills that we have the right to take off. We have the right to make decisions about. You say that you're running it at the end of the day, because this is going to be the narrative when we go broke. You're going to say, I wasn't even on the bank account. The trustees did it. When at the end of the...
Now, this is Kiana Belcher. That's what it looks like. That looks like her trustee's name, Kiana Belcher. Don't know if she's still on the trustee, but this is her talking to Tiffany.
The day you're making decisions and spending money and then get mad when we don't approve it because it's not financially sound. I sat here and looked at a lease that y'all paying $149,000 for one of them trucks. You make absolute, that's like when you 19 years old and you go get a car and the interest rate 27%. That makes absolutely no sense. You're not making great finance. Excuse me?
Please state facts.
But let me tell you, here it is, dated December 27th,
December 27th, 2022, just this last year. The first payment due on 2/1. Each payment amount is $2,400 a month. $2,500 a month. This is what this is. Total cash price is $93,000. Interest and APR is $55,000, you guys. On what the? That's 50%. What in the world? Somebody should take that lease back. Lease purchase agreement. Village of Dalton. Who authorized this charge? Who authorized this? This is really ridiculous. $55,000. $55,000. Somebody, like I said, whoever saw this, I know they wanted to get a belt out and start spanking her. Like, did you lose your damn mind? This doesn't even make any sense. You just saw a Tahoe and you said, oh, I'm going to be fine. I'm going to be riding good. $55,000. Interest rate. Interest and APR. Let her keep on talking.
2022, the cash price of a 2023 Chevy Tahoe, $93,216.71. Interest and APR, $55,929.49. Total lease price, $149,146.20. Tell me if it's not facts, because your signature is all on it.
Your signature, Tiffany Henyard, the mayor, and council. The council for, let's see, you had a lawyer saying, oh, girl, that's a good purchase. Like, come on. Your lawyer, Tajanique Miller, should be fired. Whoever she works for, she should be fired. Is she really a lawyer? You got all these yes ma'ams and yes ma'ams around you, and nobody's really telling you, no, this is a bad decision. This is a bad decision. But you don't care because you don't have to pay for it. You billing it to the village of Dalton, where your residents, the average residents, make $24,000 a year. And why can't you lease your own vehicle? You make $250,000 or $60,000 a year. You can lease your own vehicle. You pay the $2,400 a month. If you're supposed to be the people's mayor, you guys put it in chat. Let me know if I'm going off on left field. The people's mayor charging you $2,500 a month on a car. and she's paying $55,000 in interest. Too bad it's not within the 30 days. They probably slowed up to get the actual invoice. They didn't get the invoice in time. They should have took that shit back. Like a little kid. No, you can't. We ain't purchasing that. They're going to have to sue her. The city going to have to sue her to get their money back. You got to sue your own mayor to get your money back. Or don't pay the bill and they repo it. And Dalton's credit rating would be whatever. They probably won't be able to. But whoever you leasing from, this is egregious. This not even that. This is egregious. Like, who did she get this lease from? Or is she trying to pay? Let me just see the whole lease. First Government Lease Corporation. Who is that? Who is First Government Lease Corporation? That's what they do to government vehicles. They charge you 55 or what, 50% interest rate. Is that what they're doing?
Tell me if it's not facts, because your signature is all on it.
I don't see that.
Okay, but
I don't see that.
I don't.
Are you
All
lying?
I'll
But
give
at
my
the
statement in a
end,
few
at the
minutes
end
when
of
you
the
finish.
day, it's not about going back and forth with you. It's about making financial decisions that is in the benefit of everybody and just not one person. And you can't seem to understand that. Have a great day.
Go ahead, girl. You told her. She talked to her like she was a kid. Have a great day, Tiffany, Tiff dog, Tiffany. Like, really, $55,000? Oh my God. Abraham Guitar said, "Is she running the Krusty Krab restaurant away?" Bonita said, "Criminals are the only ones that would do what she wants." Yes, it's like, really. Criminals are the only one that would do what she wants. I just can't believe that, Lise. That's really mind blowing to me. So like I said, Tiffany doesn't have the business acumen. She received a blank check, or as she thought, she viewed Village of Dalton in the Thornton Township as a blank check. She could do whatever she wants. That's why she's spending money frivolously. When I'm saying, or when I use the word business acumen, this doesn't make any sense either. This other receipt. Now, we know she went on this march with her, I guess, Tiffany Foundation, that I found that is not even registered. Okay, this is a bogus foundation that's not even registered. But she spent $17,000 $17,000 on some hoodies. Doesn't make sense. Why would you don't? Why would you spend that much money on some hoodies? Thornton Design white shirts. 50 small, 50 medium, 50 large, 50 extra large, all 50. So 270 pieces, $3,200. Then she got another 32. She probably got all this stuff just sitting. You couldn't just say, "Oh, I'm just gonna buy 100 t-shirts," or "I'm just gonna buy t-shirts for the staff." Hey, everyone, give me the size of your shirt. You spent $17,000 on some t-shirts that nobody want to wear. You don't even got that many people in Dalton Village. $17,000, which doesn't make any sense. This is for her foundation when she took it on, march to Springfield. She spent $17,000. And we wonder why she's having a problem. Now, this next video. Now, like I already said, Valerie Suggs was the lady her car was shot up. She's been harassing this lady for a while. Okay. She actually went to this lady's house and act like she was let me see if I got it pulled up. Act like she was, doing some good, but you could hear Valerie in the background like, I didn't ask you to be here. Like, who told you to come? Nobody asked you to be here. But she's acting like let me see if this is not it. This is not it. Let me just find it, you guys. You gotta bear with me. You have to bear with me. Let me just try to find this right quick. Okay, this is it. Let me share with you. This is her, Tiffany Henyard, going to Suggs' house. Acting like she's doing good. But she called her a hater. She called Valerie Suggs a hater.
Hey guys, it's Mayor Tiffany Henyard, and this is what it looks like when you pull up on your haters. Yeah, let me show you what I'm about to do. See this? Everyone needs help. Just remember that. That's how you treat people, because you never know when you need the help, okay? But guess what? I am there for all my haters. It doesn't matter, because I'm the mayor of all of Dalton. The good, the bad, the ugly, and even the hateful. I am your mayor. So, here we go. Let's go. You got my crew. See this? Look, we're gonna go and help. Coming down the aisle. Yes, Lord. This is what we do. I thank you all for all your support, all your love, commitment. And I am here to shovel people out, as always. We have... Hello? No problem. I'm like, oh, you called me? Oh, no. So we have... Hey, same to you. We have Valerie Suggs, look. Yep. And I'm helping her get out of her garage. So she needs help to get out of her alley. So, see, I'm here. I'm here to help you no matter what and how you treat me. I'm still here. Front and center. Front and center. I stopped what I was doing to come and help. So we plowed her out. Out in Valley. So don't forget, I help everyone. It doesn't matter what you do or say about me. I'm going to pull up and I'm going to show out and I'm going to make sure you're safe. All right? Safety is my top priority. Remember that.
Tiffany says she pulled up on her haters. Yeah, but you heard Valerie in the background, like, I didn't call you. Like, what are you talking about? I didn't really call you. Gracie said, can't this woman be recalled? And Dr. Nikita McGraw saying, Gracie, she was recalled, but the courts determined due to the technicality, it was unconstitutional. So it was unconstitutional for them to recall the vote, but majority of the vote wants to recall their vote. So hopefully they'll be able to get her out the office the next term. It looks like I'm from about 10 minutes up the road on Dalton. Dalton used to be nice community. I hope she fries doing that to the hardworking Black folks. That girl's done lost her mind. Jail time, please. Martin Phillips, she does. She has a blank check, and she's using it. She's using her blank check. This next one, remember I talked about she loves criminals. I guess that's who she identifies with. Maybe she's trying to help them out. But this is very interesting. Now, this particular lady, she was a trustee or a county clerk. Actually, she was a county clerk in Chicago. And she ended up running into some legal trouble. Legal trouble meaning that she was being investigated by the FBI. And this woman's name is, let me see if I can find it. Dorothy Brown. Dorothy Brown. Now, Dorothy Brown was hired by Tiffany Henyard. And she was hired as a temporary position to be the accountant manager or accounting clerk or whatever for Dalton. And the board questioned this move by Tiffany because they basically were saying that, hey, we didn't give you the authorization to do that. You should have consulted us. And plus, she's already been investigated by the FBI. Let me just, I didn't know y'all didn't see this.
Clerk, Dorothy Brown.
Last year, Brown stepped down after a tumult. The truth about this being a transitional position?
No, not at all.
Just months after stepping down as Cook County Circuit Court clerk, Dorothy Brown has landed back on the public payroll.
But her new six-figure job in South suburban Dalton is causing concern for some elected officials in that village.
Fox 32's Dane Placco investigates how a new federal corruption scandal in Brown's old office is prompting some trustees to call for her departure.
This is a historical moment.
Former Cook County Circuit Court Clerk Dorothy Brown serving as host at last May's swearing-in ceremony for Tiffany Henyard, the first female mayor of Dalton, who calls Brown her godmother and mentor.
Especially, and I do mean especially, my campaign advisor, the retired clerk, Dorothy Brown.
Last year, Brown stepped down after a tumultuous 20 years in public office, marked by a series of scandals and federal investigations. She was never charged. In December, Brown began collecting her Cook County pension of nearly $90,000 a year.
Thank you, Mayor Henyard, and to the trustees.
But now, Dorothy Brown is back on the public payroll, thanks to Dalton's new mayor.
She's running the mayor, not the village.
Today, 4 of Dalton's 6 trustees met me outside Village Hall to raise concerns about Brown's hiring as Dalton Village Administrator at $100,000 a year.
We believe that Dorothy Brown controls over administrative affairs, and her influence on the mayor has not been in the best interest of the village.
The trustees say they approved Brown's hiring last May with assurances from the mayor that it was a transitional position that would end in the middle of November.
No longer than 6 months. So she's temporary once again.
We're 5 months into this administration. The position still has not been posted. No applications have been taken. Well, I feel like we've been lied to about the transition of Dorothy Brown.
The trustees complain that Brown and the mayor have made numerous hires and big decisions without their input. And when they ask Brown for information,
and she stated, hey, this is the mayor, she makes the decisions, and you all need to follow her lead and do what was asked of you all. and not ask any questions.
Trustees say they're also alarmed by news this week that a Pennsylvania man pleaded guilty in federal court to corruptly providing benefits to Dorothy Brown. The federal indictment says businessman Donald Doniger Jr. admits he paid some of the expenses for a 2014 Dorothy Brown Awards event in return for his belief that he continued to get contracts from Brown's office. Doniger has also agreed to cooperate in the ongoing federal investigation.
I just don't want her personal life to affect Dalton and to bring a cloud over Dalton.
We went to Village Hall to try to talk to the mayor.
I'm sorry, but the mayor is not in at this time.
Okay. So we went to her home, where we were met by 2 Dalton police officers blocking the way.
Well, we're going to go knock on her door now. I can't let you do that.
While we never talked to the mayor or Dorothy Brown, a village spokesperson later told us Brown will be leaving her position at the end of 6 months.
I had a conversation with the mayor this morning, and as the mayor stated, she does support Ms. Brown. She's done amazing work in the village.
The job hasn't been posted. Why is that?
I have no idea.
You would think they would start a new...
Stop it with that. People, you wearing wigs like that, just placing on top of your head, you don't do that no more. Don't. She got a whole wig and didn't even blend it in. Stop it. Okay. You represent the mayor, and you need to come correct with that. That's an atrocity. It's a legal offense. Stop it. Stop it with the madness.
Interviewing candidates if she was going to be leaving in a month.
I have no idea.
Trustees say it's time for one of the county's most controversial politicians to say goodbye.
I think the influence of Dorothy Brown hasn't been the greatest influence on the mayor. And the direction that they're going to, we just completely disagree with. And we have to do something.
In Dalton, Dane Placco, Fox 32 Chicago.
Just for Dorothy Brown, in defense Dorothy Brown, she was never convicted for a crime she was investigated into, but never convicted. Is that suspicious that she was investigated? They probably wanted her out, maybe. I'm just throwing that out there. Maybe they just was trying to force her out. So they sent a bunch of information to the FBI. Hey, you need to research this person so she could be forced retired. But the guy that she paid, he paid some money into her whatever event, saying he did it several times. Okay, he admitted doing that. So Tiffany Henyard, she likes criminals. She likes to be around criminals. What more can you say about that? She's currently being investigated too. She's being investigated or not. We can't even say. They haven't even launched a formal investigation. They haven't put nothing out there. But this last article that I've read, the FBI is questioning some of the people that's surrounding her. Okay. There's nothing more to say about Tiffany for now. Nothing more to say. Is the Dorothy Brown influencing her to make all these bad decisions? She's probably telling her, oh, this is what you need to do to get around whatever they're trying to block you from doing. Just do it. So maybe, yeah. And she's probably still in her ear today, even though she's not in office. She's not getting paid from it. But I'm pretty sure she's in her ear. So we're going to go. That's all I got to say about that. You guys put it in chat. Let me know what you think. We're going to go to another Chicago suburb, and that's Riverdale. That is Riverdale. Now we got mayor of Chicago suburb on federal perjury obstruction charges. Lawrence Jackson, 49, has been the Riverdale mayor for 10 years, and he has been under investigation on allegations of receiving secret payments from the garbage and recycling company. I mean, I tell you, You know, why can't we just accept the pay that we get? We want more money. I mean, is it that hard?
Secret payments from a garbage and recycling company. Now he's facing perjury and obstruction of justice charges. Our Tara Molina is bringing us the details from Riverdale.
Lawrence Jackson is still the mayor of Riverdale, but no sign of him at his office today. The federal charges he now faces carry up to 25 years. The federal indictment outlining the charges 49-year-old Lawrence Jackson is facing following a lengthy federal investigation alleging Jackson received secret payments from a garbage and recycling firm. Federal prosecutors say Jackson lied under oath when testifying during a deposition for a civil lawsuit filed in 2018 by a waste management company, Tri-State Disposal, Inc. They claimed Jackson refused to renew their contract so he could give special treatment to a different company whose owner is accused of giving Jackson's own trucking company kickbacks. Federal prosecutors detailed the 2021 deposition where they say Jackson lied about his dealing with that firm, denying he knew the owners when investigators had evidence of prior history and text messages, and denying knowledge of business dealings, testifying, quote, "I don't handle the day-to-day operations of the business." Jackson is now facing perjury and obstruction of justice charges. Unable to connect with Jackson for a comment on the indictment, we went to Village Hall and his home. No sign of the mayor. We were told he's still leading Riverdale, and no comment. A spokesperson for the U.S. Attorney's Office tells me an arraignment date hasn't been set yet. We'll check back with them on that. We still haven't heard back from the mayor or any of the companies involved. If we do, we'll update this story online. Reporting in Riverdale, I'm Tara Molina, CBS 2 News.
So you have the mayor of Riverdale actually into some undercut, shady business, and I don't understand why these politicians cannot just accept their salary and don't take bribes, because you are supposed to be for the people. If someone's able to pay you off or buy you off, you're not for the people. It's really sad. And they're talking about he's going to face up to 25 years. Now, here is some of his indictment that the DOJ posted. They posted this on his website, and they announced that on this Thursday, or a couple of weeks ago, this past Thursday. And it's saying, according to the indictment, Tri-State Disposal Incorporation, a waste management company in Riverdale, filed a lawsuit against Riverdale and Jackson in 2018, alleging that Jackson retaliated against the Tri-State by refusing to renew its garbage collection contract with the city. The owners of the Tri-State have spoken out publicly against the city issuance of the zoning permit that allowed the recycling and waste transfer business to operate in Riverdale. The cycling business was owned by an individual aligned with Jackson, who had allegedly assisted the mayor in replacing Tri-State with a different garbage collection company. So that's how it starts. You try to, even though these people have a city contract with us, I got Joe Schmo over here. He's willing to pay you, give you a side deal. And if you could get him the contract for the city. And look, so the Tri-State said, this is BS. I'm going to sue you because I have a contract with you. Tri-State lawsuit alleged that Jackson caused the city to give preferential treatment to a recycling business at the expense of Tri-State. Jackson participated in a deposition in the suit on February of 25 of 2021. And answered questions under oath by the attorney. So that's why they charging him with perjury. And it says Jackson answered were intended to conceal his relationship with the recycling company's owner, including the owner's extensive involvement in the operations of Centennial Holdings, a trucking company that Jackson and his wife owned on paper. but which was effectively operated by the recycling company's owner for Jackson and his wife's benefit, the indictment states. In the deposition, Jackson falsely testified that the Riverdale village administrator introduced him to another garbage collection company and recommended it replace Tri-State. So, and it says, even though he knew that the recycling company owners made the introduction and recommendation. So he could save up to 20 years. He could serve up to 20 years. And this is from the Northern District Office of Illinois. That's probably where they're getting Tiffany's information from. They're sending the FOIA request for Tiffany too, that they're holding up, but they're not going to hold it up. You know, if the FBI or the Attorney General, all they're going to do is issue subpoenas for everybody, and they're going to force them to answer questions and force them to give them information. And if they don't, they'll see they're going to issue out warrants. So that there you have it, you guys. There you have it with the scandals in Illinois. Sherry, she's never bring anything before the board, no RFPs or contracts. She just does business and then show up on the warrant list, which she expects the board just to pay. Yeah, she doesn't consult the board. She doesn't consult the board, which she should do. And that's why I said, I think that Brown lady, she's in her here saying, hey, this is what you do. You just do it. And they're not supposed to question you. And that's probably why she's doing what she's doing. She's getting encouragement from this lady. And she going around like she's the big willy-nilly in town. And you're not. You're not the queen. You're not Al Capone. You're not big willy-nilly. You're the mayor. And you're a civil servant. So stop it. Same with this Lawrence guy. You can't take undercut deals and think you're going to do wrong by a business that they probably depend on the city for the business. And you just basically said, no, we're not going to renew your contract. And you think people are going to just lay down and do whatever? No, they're going to sue you. So hopefully more people will speak out, especially if you live in Dalton. You need to speak out. Make your voice known, make your voice heard, and vote against this lady. Vote against her. That's the only way you're going to be able to combat this. And just look into other people who's trying to run for office. And make sure that you don't elect the same type of nut job like Tiffany. Because Tiffany is one flown over the cuckoo's nest. That lady's crazy. Anyway, one last story I want to share with you, and this is about Donald Trump. Donald Trump, he was at what is it? He was at a school football game earlier today. It was today or yesterday. And Newsweek will have you believe, let me just get his Newsweek. Was it Newsweek or Newsmax? It's so crazy how people try to spread propaganda against Donald Trump. And you might not like Donald Trump. You might like Donald Trump. I don't know. But there's a lot of stories out by Donald Trump. One in particular that I thought was mind-boggling that they posted today. and they were saying that Donald Trump, he came to the school in, I think it was Clemson, South Carolina, one of those schools, and he was met with a bunch of boos. It's like, really? Let me just. News. Yeah. This was yesterday, actually. This is what I'm sharing with you guys. Donald Trump greeted by loud boos at South Carolina football game. Okay. They're saying that they were booing him. Let me see if it, okay. You saying that they were booing Donald Trump. Why wouldn't you put that on there? Why wouldn't you, post a video saying, "Oh, boo Donald Trump, boo Donald Trump, Donald Trump, you suck"? They didn't put it on there. But when you go on Twitter, let me just read a snippet of this. Former President Donald Trump was met with loud boos as he arrived in William Bryce Stadium in South Carolina on Saturday ahead of the Palmetto Bowl. Trump, the front runner for Republican nomination in the 2024 presidential primary, was in Columbia to watch the Palmetto Bowl college football game between the University of South Carolina's Gamecocks and Clemson University Tigers. I knew it was Clemson. I just couldn't think where it was at. Anyway, the former president remains a popular figure in South Carolina, a state where he beat President Joe Biden by 12 points. Okay, so you're saying that they booed him. They booed him. That's what they're saying. Trump faced a mix of some boos and cheers while at the bowl game, according to the videos posted on social media. No, it wasn't no mix. Let me show you. These people went crazy. Donald Trump was like their hero. Like, why do you have to lie about it? Why do you have to lie? Boos, anyone? Did you guys hear any boos? Now this is wild right here. This is crazy. This right here is crazy. HN USA. So why would Newsweek post that? Why would Newsweek post that? They want you to go against Donald Trump. I guess they want you to be like, "Oh, Donald Trump is the worst. Everybody hates him, so I gotta hate him too." Propaganda. Don't know who you're going to vote for, but I want you to be wise about your decision. Please don't vote for Joe Biden. Whoever you vote, don't just vote for Joe. Don't vote for Joe. Don't vote for Joe. Please don't do it. Anyway, you want to be wise about your decision. Another thing about Donald Trump, I just thought this was really pretty hilarious. This is, I really don't know. Somebody put in the chat if you know this guy name. He's a comedian. He's talking about Trump. Well, Chief Nerd, I'm not for sure. I think that's the guy who posted it. But he's talking about Trump derangement syndrome.
Like, it's past if you're divided politically. Even, you have to admit, even if you're like, I don't care as long as it's not you know who. That was like a demonic, like the devil came out and just whoever, like, we're gonna make people hate Donald Trump, hate. Get him. I hate Donald Trump. He's a racist. He's a dead white supremacist. He's an insurrectionist. He's a...
Wait, this is so hilarious to me because that's what they when you hear him on the news, he's a racist, he's a sexist, he's a white supremacist, he's an insurrectionist. Who says he's an insurrectionist? We didn't even know what insurrectionists were. So until January 6th happened, then everybody started using the word insurrectionist. What does insurrectionist mean? A protester? Like, what are you talking about? Anyway, it makes me laugh.
They lynch people. Even, I'm not gonna blame you because I saw the news channels. I saw them saying, he's racist, he's sexist. You would just wake up to pee in the middle of the night. He hates Mexicans and he says they're rapists and he hates.
This is hilarious.
Black people. What? They had, remember the Women's March? We're gonna march. I have a vagina. I have a vagina. Oh, they knew what a woman was then.
That is true. That, I mean, it's funny, but true. Anyway, I had to share that with you. I thought that was funny. But like I said, you know, you can't really depend on mainstream media to get your news because, like I said, they, you know, make stuff up, especially against Donald Trump. You know, you don't necessarily have to like Donald Trump, but really be mindful when you're listening to the news because some of the stuff that they're saying doesn't really make any sense. Anyway. I hear cheering. Newsweek is lying. That's what I said. Comedian Jim Brewer. Is that the name? Robert? Okay. I got to look him up because a person that I follow, I just thought that was hilarious. Okay, send me the link. Thank you, KD. Thank you for tuning in. You guys make sure you like, subscribe, and share this video with everybody. Share my channel. I really appreciate every single one of you guys. My other channel, make sure you follow that channel as well. That's Chawanne Burns 2.0. Let me just pull it up. And looking more political stuff. That's, if you're looking for that, I'll post. I go live on this channel as well. So it's shared. It's a shared stream. But I usually post shorts on this channel. So you could follow me here as well. Okay. So thank you everyone for tuning in. I am sending all my good to you. You have a great evening and I will talk to you tomorrow.